And we are live. A little early today. And hi Tora. Kitty cat. Tora says hi to her adoring fans. There she is. Oh, Tutu's in the glare, but I think I can get patches on the camera. She's kind of in the glare. There's Tutu. Glare isn't too bad just yet, but it will be as the sun rises. So we are live in Tora. She's doing that thing where she pats you with her paw. Feels okay at first, but eventually it hurts. Well, we are live in beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. And it's a little chilly, but sunny and warming up a bit. They tell us we'll have another rainstorm on another weekend. The storms have been hitting us on the weekends for a couple months now. Hi, Etsy Quentia. Good to see you here. Let me turn off the fan, the heater fan. It's noisy. There, here we go. Tora, well, okay. The cats insist that they get treats. So, oh, I opened the wrong end of the box. Sorry, kid. It's morning. What can I tell you? Ah. Yes, dear. You cats are bad. No, only Tora gets this, and you know that. Move over. Move it. I can't put your treat in the dish if you're sitting in the dish. I better give them a can of food. Come on. Rascal kitties. Okay. Hang on then. Cats. Okay. Now maybe they'll settle down for a few minutes. Kitties. Cats. Rotten kitties. Now, well, night before last, I was up half the night watching the news reports of college campus protests and encampments. Primarily UCLA, where a riot broke out between protesters for two different sides of the Palestine situation. Well, I gave up and went to sleep before the situation was finally handled and police came in and arrested people, only to learn yesterday that the encampment was still there. Hi, Jason. Good morning. So yesterday, or maybe early this morning, not sure. It was either late last night or early this morning. The police were going to move in at UCLA and clear out the encampment. You see, the thing is, they can't send in police without permission from the college officials. And apparently, the one who could give the okay was, I think, in DC. She was out of state somewhere giving a speech or attending a conference or something. Anyway, I haven't seen the news yet this morning, but it's ridiculous. People from all over came out to support both sides. People who were not even connected to UCLA. When I was young, I always wanted to attend UCLA because Dovey Gillis went there, that 1960s TV show. I clicked the wrong thing on my phone. I'm looking for news about UCLA protest today. Police enter encampment at UCLA as protests disrupt colleges across the U.S. I'm not going to play a video. These are all videos. Wow. Portland State University, University of Minnesota. Exams and academic activities postponed at Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Columbia University radio station praised for, I guess, their coverage. Hundreds of people have been arrested in connection with UCLA's pro-Palestinian encampment. New York City mayor says more than 40% of protesters arrested at Columbia and I think it's pronounced CUNY. See, SUNY is State University, New York. CUNY is City with a C, University of New York. Oh, Jason is watching Flow My Tears, the policeman said, come to fruition in real life. Yeah, I think it's more like the penultimate truth. Okay, and UCLA protest. This is all NBC, by the way, I think. UCLA protest encampment is now over. Remaining UCLA protesters cornered in front of the Powell Library. Oh, Mac Attack is here and Witta is here. Wow. And it isn't 8 o'clock yet, but I decided to start early, and then the cat said, hey, what about us? Well, it's sunny and beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire, but it's chilly. However, I'm wearing a sweater, not a heavy coat, so that might have something to do with it. Mac Attack says, I don't know if that's his or her. I can't see the image, the icon. I guess it's his son went to a SUNY school. It's so Knee, N-E-E. Oh, SUNY. Yeah, with an S, it's SUNY, but City of New York, if you say it the same as State of New York, doesn't that get confusing? City of New York is C-U-N-I-Y, not I, Y. Well, anyway. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, I actually heard an actual professional broadcaster on network news who did not know what CUNY stands for. Now, lots of ordinary people don't have a reason to know, but when you're reporting on events on campus, well, at least your writers who write your script for you should tell you what it stands for. Oh, Jason's up this early because he couldn't get back to sleep. Well, it's just a few minutes before 8, so that reminds me. The whole time you're young, in your teens and your 20s, you're required to get up early and be ready to start the day at 8 o'clock, up, fed, dressed, and at work or school. When young people really do better in the afternoon, you're better off letting them sleep an extra hour. And then you get old like me, and 8 o'clock is like, well, I wake up at 6. What's the big deal? Now that I'm retired and I don't have to be up at 6 in the morning, I automatically wake up anyway. Cave is Jason, by the way, just to let you know. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it I think it kind of sounds like coffee. Cave. Kava is coffee. Oh well. It's the weirdest thing to try to pronounce things you don't know. Uh, uh, oh. Anyway, I'm glad I'm not in college now. I'd be ticked off, unable to go to class, unable to go to the library, unable to attend any campus activities because some protesters camped out there. You know, a demonstration, fine. One day, maybe 2, because you need to clean up afterward. But this has been going on and on and on for weeks. Architect hopes another Kent State doesn't happen. Well, that isn't likely. Kent State, for people too young to remember, there was a protest against the Vietnam War, a peace protest, and very peaceful for the most part, but they were disrupting campus activities. And they were not camping out, by the way. And the National Guard came in and they shot a few students. Not a good look, but not quite as bad as the. What was that? Someone told me in chat last week, and I've forgotten it again. I think it was like a second Little Bighorn. The Lakota or Dakota Indians were protesting, and they were very badly treated in the 70s. Morning, Ditch. Okay, what man did Cave mention? Oh, whatever. I would say Phil was a bit narcissistic, but mostly he felt insecure. He needed what we call brownie points. He needed compliments. He needed an occasional pat on the back because he wasn't secure in his own self-image. Very common, by the way, among adults who were abused as children. I think that the wealthy and powerful elite deliberately divide us by race, class, skin color, even skin color within a particular race. Politics, philosophy, religion, anything they can use so that the unwashed masses don't join up and kick out the crooks who rule over them. It's been going on for thousands of years. So we've kind of absorbed the philosophy of the elites. Oh, the enemy isn't that useless politician in the government who's doing insider trading and making millions. No, the enemy is the guy next door who disagrees with you. Did you know that Donald Trump received, long before he ran for president, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the NAACP? Oh, but he's racist. Okay. Now, I have lots of reasons for not liking Donald Trump, but that isn't one of them. There are lots of real bad things about him, but I'll probably vote for him anyway. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I'm telling you, we're in deep trouble. And I think we need a little chaos in the Congress to shake up the complacent bureaucrats who think they know better than we do how to run our lives. Whatever happens, we'll live. Oh, Ditch says I'm Joker now? Okay. We survived some of the worst things like LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, you know, JFK's vice president who became president after someone shot Kennedy. Young people were, and old people were marching in the streets protesting the Vietnam War, chanting, "Hey, hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today?" And we survived Richard Nixon, who was um, impeached for the Watergate break in and the cover up. And he was not convicted in the Senate because he resigned. We survived the Iran hostage situation under President Jimmy Carter, who was too weak to deal with Iran. Yeah, and we've survived Ronald Reagan. He did some good things like lowering income taxes, but he screwed up the economy royally. I worked very hard to get my college degree and go into um, public relations and advertising as a career. And all those jobs disappeared under Reaganomics the year I graduated. So I went back to Kelly Temporary Services working in factories. And I went back to school and got a master's degree so I could teach English because I figured there'd always be jobs for English teachers. Problem is, the job barely paid enough to keep a car to go to work. Oh, Kave's talking about Soros being a narcissist, a megalomaniac. And I know a little bit about Soros's childhood. He was a Jewish child who had to pretend to be a Christian and to work arresting Jews in Nazi Germany. He's a sick, twisted puppy. And although I can feel sorry for the boy who went through that, that does not give him the right to inflict pain on others now that he's secure and wealthy and so forth. Anyway, I know we need change every time I go to the grocery store or get my winter heating bill. I don't even have a car. In California, I can't afford the annual registration fee for a car. Even if I got an old junker, it'd still be a couple $100 every year just to put a sticker on the license plate. And then there's gas at $7 a gallon, and insurance, which is through the roof. If you can even get it, insurance companies are leaving California. Major insurance companies like State Farm and Allstate and Farmers. You practically have to go with, I'm blanking on it. That British company that's all famous. Oh, well. Lloyd's of London. That's it. And then we have idiots running courtrooms who don't know that a money market account is not a speculation. It does not decrease in value. Who think that you tell the county how much your house is worth and how much you owe in property taxes. Don't work that way. Sorry, I keep getting throat tickles. The county tells you how much your house is worth and how much you owe in taxes. How do these people function as adults in society if they don't even know about putting your savings in the bank or paying your taxes to the government? Do they all have people who do that for them? Kind of sounds like it. Well, I don't know. The world is falling apart around us, and frankly, I don't know what to do about it. Oh, wrong way. They're here. I don't know if I can do anything. That is weird. What is that reflection? Oh, I guess it's the window. Um, that, I can't, where my hand is, that's a window reflecting things. Oh, it's the door, but the door is a window. Um, Apparently, divide and conquer just might not work this time. It's been used for centuries or millennia even. You get your two enemies to fight each other and leave you alone, and when they've run out of steam, then you move in and take both of them. That's divide and conquer. Oh, one thing I read about in the news about the riot at UCLA between the two sides of the Palestine situation. Both sides were chanting, using the F word in reference to the president. I have to be careful on this platform what I say. Even though other channels that I watch will say things that would get me kicked off, I don't dare say what they say. And they don't get kicked off. Although one channel, maybe two, I think, are demonetized. So they're selling My Pillow and buy gold for your retirement and stuff like that. Ah, Sequentia has gone back to bringing Monty Python sketches on YouTube. The absurdism might serve to eclipse the absurdism of reality right now. Currently watching Fish License, top-notch performance. Yeah, Monty Python is awesome. I keep getting them confused with the British comedian whose name I always forget. He had a sketch about blancmange. Being an American, I pronounce it blanc mange. It's a white pudding. And these probably men in costumes, men and women in costumes, who knows, looking like white puddings are running around wreaking havoc. I almost had his name. It escaped again. But he reminds me of Monty Python. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah, this world is like an absurdist play. It doesn't make sense. And if you try to, take the logical path, you get into trouble. It's like Phil used to say, just engage in random behavior so they can't figure out what you're up to because you aren't up to anything. You're just spreading, what's the word? Oh, confusion. Ditch doesn't use logic anymore, and that's why. Just engage in random behavior. Wow. Here come the cats. That's what cats do. Tora, what are you up to now? I gave you everything. She's a cutie. Yes, she is. Say hi to your fan. Yeah. Back off. Get off my desk. I mean it. Get off. Taurus, silly cats. Well, the cat treats are over there. I have to go get them. What are you cats doing? You don't go out yet. You know that. You don't go out until I say so. They're trying to break down the door or climb up to the top of it. Party mix. Smokey has finally learned that she does not have to steal the other cat's treats, that she will get some too. 3C, I can't give you treats if you're hiding under the table there. Hi, Tutu. There's another cat. They keep sneaking into my house and eating all the cat food, but I know he has a home, so I'm constantly kicking him out. Yeah, it's party o'clock, all right, at Sequentia. It is for kitties. Hi there, kitty catties. I've got temptations too. Well, I was happy with 2 cats. Now I have 6 cats and I'm miserable, mainly due to litter box duty. Yes, you're cute. Now quit. And stay off of my desk. There. I just told my phone to be quiet. Well, what else is going on in this crazy world? What is that? Oh, the documents case. There's a news article stating that the GSA, General Services Administration, delivered 15 boxes of documents to Mar-a-Lago, in addition to whatever Trump took with him to the White House. It was a couple months after Biden was inaugurated, and they said, well, we've got these boxes of documents. You should come get them or we'll deliver them. And they took them to Mar-a-Lago. These were not boxes that the outgoing president packed. They were packed by the General Services Administration, I guess. Where'd they come from? What were they? It's weird. And then, let's see, there's this trial over paying hush money to a stripper. And what's her name down in Georgia has destroyed her case. It might be a very valid case. It might be, but she's destroyed it by misusing the grants that she received from the federal government. Oh. Thank you at Sequentia. It started buffering as soon as I mentioned a certain place of residence. Let me move the thingy modem. that certain place of residence is worth 18 million. There's a vacant lot down the street that's worth more than that. Uh, Craziness. Well, the algorithm has to get a human to look at what I said and make sure it isn't verboten. It's been a couple years, but a couple years ago, I was in the middle of a live stream when the platform shut me down and took down the replay. And I have no idea what I said that caused that. No idea in the world. I hope the buffering has ended. I don't see it on my end. It looks good here. I don't know. Huh. Thanks, Etsy Quentia. It's okay now. I guess I didn't cross the line. Meanwhile, there's a certain son of a certain politician who has a get out of jail free card. And California is suffering terribly under Gruesome Newsom, our governor. And the big cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, and let's see, Detroit, Chicago, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia. Well, those are the ones I hear about. And I think it's Austin in Texas. They're all suffering under an incredible crime wave. Schwarzenegger was a joke. If I remember correctly, and I might not, but I think it was the way he got in was the drive for no repeat Wilson, because Pete Wilson was a bad governor. Schwarzenegger didn't do anything but make appearances on the television. Called himself a Republican, but his wife was, I think she was a Kennedy. Anyway, a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. We haven't had a good governor in my lifetime. Well, Ronald Reagan wasn't too bad as governor, but basically we promoted him to the White House because he was so bad for California, but he wasn't as bad as some of the others, like Duke Majan and Pete Wilson and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hi, Gypsy. Welcome in. Oh, man. And then there's Gaza. Oh, Florida today. That's awesome. Apparently, we're having our military build a pier so that the petroleum that Gaza produces can be loaded onto ships and exported. Meanwhile, our government plans to bring Palestinian refugees to the United States. And I wonder if that isn't the goal for large multinational corporations to take over the oil reserves. Could be. It does seem to be what's happening in Ukraine. They have a huge supply of natural gas. Well, basically, our CIA and England's MI6 just love to invade countries that have petroleum underground. Iraq. We didn't exactly invade Iran, but we staged a coup and put in the Shah, Reza Pahlavi. We're buddy with Saudi Arabia. Venezuela was a very wealthy nation because between 20 and 30% of our oil imports in the United States came from Venezuela. Now they're a crap hole because of their government. I'm watching here and there the new leader in Argentina, the libertarian. He just fired a bunch of government bureaucrats, and the people like him. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. South America and Central America have very sad histories. The colonialism of Spain and Portugal, and before that, the Inca Empire and the Aztec Empire. very cruel warriors seeking more wealth and more power. You know what the difference is between American colonialism, if you can call it that, and European colonialism? Ah, gosh. Sorry, got itchies. When the Philippines said, we want you to leave, we want to be an independent nation, the United States said, okay. And we did keep one military base. We gave back the other one after the volcano buried it. But the Philippines are an independent nation, and they didn't have to go to war to kick us out. But I think that might have changed in recent years. We just don't call them colonies. We let them have their own governments, but well, not we, it's large multinational corporations take over the natural resources and the cheap labor and so forth. And do the American people benefit? I don't think so. We're one of the few nations in the world where people struggle to get in, not to get out. And yet we're falling apart. If the United States fails, what's left? What indeed? I don't know. Now, in my particular community, things are not so bad. We don't have a lot of crime, but we have had a lot of criminals breaking into people's cars in the middle of the night. But we haven't had a lot of trouble. We did have one incident that just made me so angry and sad at the same time. A local shop run by locals, a small shop, had a sign with a rainbow on it. And some jerkwad, not a local, by the way, attacked the sign and the clerk at the store. I think she was the owner of the store. It was terrible. And in the middle of COVID, a gang came up and broke into our two pharmacy type stores, the Rite Aid and the Walgreens, and most of what they stole was liquor. whiskey, vodka, that sort of thing. And they hit the news because they're so rare up here. Heavy crime in Florida. It says, my water's empty. I'll be right back. What are you cats doing? Ah. I do too, sweetie. How did this get there? Fell out of my pocket. Okay. Lord. Water. I saw the tomcat outside, the one that does not live here but tries to sneak in and eat all the cat food. When it says where she lives, there's bars on the windows of the gas stations, and no one's allowed to use their bathrooms. Yeah, well, we do have a couple drug dealers up here, but on the mountain, the sheriffs take that sort of thing seriously. Unfortunately, the courts do not. One in particular that I know of was convicted of felony drug dealing, spent about a month in jail waiting for trial, and was let out on probation. Just to the south of us in Riverside County and even Orange County, California, not Florida. They tend to keep people in jail a little longer. We're messed up. These counties are, for the most part, red, but in the cities, they tend to be blue. We do have a decent representative in Congress, Jay Obernolte. He lives on the mountain. And his main concern is veterans. Trying to get homeless veterans off the streets and get the VA hospitals to take better care of them. Yeah, well, that's the sad truth behind the curtain. She says it's supposedly liberal in her area, but they despise the poor and homeless with a passion. Kind of like what she heard about California. Yeah, well, that's the sad truth. The most charitable people happen to be the conservatives. The liberals talk the talk and don't walk the walk. Now, I'm not talking about ordinary people, it's the ones who have a little bit of power. And a little bit of wealth. Overall, Americans give more to charity than any other nationality. Move Torah, get off of my coffee. It's mine. Stay out of my stuff. Cats have no concept of yours and mine. Everything belongs to Torah. The expression et sequentia, heard what goes. They love humanity, but they hate humans. Yeah. Well, up here, we do have the drug-addled couch surfers and campers in the forest who are just too far gone to function in society. But we also have people who just lost a job during COVID or had an illness and lost a job and had huge medical bills. And if they're given a hand up, they can get on their feet again. So we try to make that happen. Torah, say hi to your fans. Come on. Say hi. She says, I don't want to. Where are my treats? Quit messing with me. Okay. You haven't had your temptations yet. Here we go. There. YouTube patches. Oh, it's 2, and 3C. I haven't seen Sweetie this morning. Okay, Smokey. There, here you go. Dora's a silly girl. I have to be careful how many treats I paw out, or they'll guzzle them too fast and then erp them up. Yeah, look what happened when 50 migrants landed in Martha's Vineyard. I bet they were really upset when they were shipped off to a military base the next day. It was, oh, we love you. Now go away. I think that might be a good solution, though. All our shelves are full. Why not? Since California has some closed military bases, why not put them on a military base, a place to sleep, free food, and education? Learn English, learn about our government, our Constitution, our society, our history. Why not? People who come to this country through the legal process have to do all that. Learn English and learn our history and our form of government and our culture. I wonder how many Americans know our history. The nation was founded on the principle that the king can't tell us what to do. The King of England, across the pond, handing down orders to American settlers, mostly English, but also French and Spanish and African, and not all of the black people here were slaves. Some black people here even owned slaves. And there were a lot of Irish slaves. But what made us different was we ended slavery. It's still going on in some parts of the world, notably Africa and the Middle East. They don't always call it slavery, but when you look at how it works, it really is. Oh, wow. And most of the founding fathers either died or ended their lives in poverty. Either died in the revolution or survived but were penniless. Very few made it through okay, and some lost their homes, their families, whatever fortune they might have had. Yes, at Sequentia, slavery is alive and kicking right now in the world. Yep. And sadly, it's happening here in the U.S. because many people owe money to the gangs and the cartels and the drug dealers. Patches, don't do it. I gave you guys your food and your treats, and I'm not opening the door till that tomcat goes away and gives up. I guess you didn't leave any canned food for him, but you did leave some kibble. And his human says he's too fat and needs to lose weight. I don't know. I'm really shocked at the idiots who increased the minimum wage. When I was a kid, working in fast food was like a first job for teenagers, young people, to get some experience in the workforce and then move up to better jobs. Now it seems to be a career for many adults. So they raised the minimum wage so people can make a living working fast food, but you know what happened? Sales went in the dumpster because the prices had to go up. Who wants to pay $20 for a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke? Uh, on top of that, when you make more money, you pay more taxes. They take more money out of your check. And some people actually have less take home pay on the higher wages. It's a scam, it's a shell game. Tora, see, when she sits on me, it's with pokey paws. She doesn't curl up, she stands on me. Don't you? Look, uh, Tora, quit fighting me. Say hi to your fans and get off my lap. Pokey paws. Ah. I guess I better open the door so they can go out and play. Is that what you want? You want to go out and play? Let's go open the door. Hang on. Okay. All right. Okay. Go and play and quit bothering me. Cats pester me too much. Okay. Oh, I started weeds yesterday. The grasses are almost as tall as my knees. They just, all the rain we've had turned them into gigantic weeds. Grassy pads that are low to the ground are as big as dinner plates. And the roots are so tough that I can't pull them out. I have to dig them out. And some are in places where it isn't practical to use the weed whacker, so I go in with the clippers and cut them down. I've never seen weeds like this at my house before, not like this, not so big. Okay. Um, so today I'll do more weed whacking. Uh, Lord, every year around this time, I have to pull weeds, but they're usually 6 inches tall, not 18 inches. I suppose last year's snowmageddon had something to do with it. There's more water in the ground from the melting snow. And then we kept having rain all summer long. About once a week it would rain. So, anyway, it's like I have so many things to do, but I have to whack the weeds before they turn brown and dry out and become a fire hazard. Mm. At least it's been staying sunny, a few days in a row, so I can do laundry and because I use a clothesline, I don't have a hookup for a dryer, and uh, you know, over the winter I had a lot of trouble getting the laundry done because it wouldn't dry, and I had to bring it in if it started raining or snowing. And there is a laundromat, but I don't have a car. And I wasn't walking well enough. Oh, hi, Freeman, you're late. Welcome in. I wasn't walking well enough to take a cart of laundry to the laundromat, even though it's only a few blocks away. So, anyway, let's see. Last week I took 2 boxes of stuff to the local consignment shop. Oh, poor Freeman's still in pain. His health insurance is playing games with him. They don't want to pay for the care he needs. Anyway, I have another box to take to the consignment shop this week. and a box of books to send off to Zach Wood, who will sell them for me because his eBay store is a big one, and I keep telling him to take a commission, and once in a while he does, but he's mostly helping me. To downsize and get a few bucks at the same time. Oh man, cat hair in my eyelashes. Oh no. Ew. Freeman has a bad neighbor. Doesn't just smoke cigarettes, smokes drugs. Well, I wouldn't take a chance on any kind of street drugs if I were you. They can kill you, especially with fentanyl being so common. Patches don't bother me. Meow. Well, make a guest appearance. She does look like a Mogwai or an Ewok, don't ya? Yeah, she's cute and sweet. Now get off of me. She doesn't retract her claws, so she cannot sit on my lap. No, I don't like kitty claws. Get off me. Move over. You can't have your treat if you don't stay on the treat blanket. Okay? You don't get treats on my lap. Gosh, cats. Yeah, L. Freeman is here. And thank you for the donation, Freeman. He gave a good donation to my GoFundMe. There isn't enough coffee in the world today. Oh, I almost forgot. Where is it? How's my water? I gotta get water. I'll be right back. I'm supposed to take my vitamins. And if I skip a day, I really notice the difference. I got a multiple vitamin, Centrum Silver. I've got D3 and K1 and 2. Those are the main ones. The other stuff isn't as critical. There must be cat hair in my eyelashes. God. Freeman watched the last two replays, and he thanks me for being worried about him. Yeah, we got to pray for Witta and Freeman and Jason. We should pray for everybody. Everybody needs something. You see, you don't go around telling God what you want Him to do. Just ask Him to help people and He'll figure out how to help them. God is like a dictator. You don't tell Him what to do. So you don't say, God, please send me $1 million lottery ticket. You say, God, help me. And He'll decide whether you deserve $1 million lottery ticket or whether something else might help you. Ah, I'm tickly eyelashes. What is... I'm still not getting cat hair out of the eyelashes. Maybe they're shedding now that the weather is warming up. This happens to me every summer at least. My eyelashes and eyebrows start shedding, so my eyebrows will shed and land in my eyelashes, and they're shedding too. Ugh. I was going to try out that dollar store makeup today. Ugh. Might as well drag it out again. Let's see. Let's see what the lipstick looks like. It says it's hydrating, which is good. I get dry lips all the time, especially in the winter when the air is drier. Come on, get out of the package. It seems like more than ever, products are packaged so tight that you can't get them out of the package. It's especially frustrating with food. Scissors. I'm going to have to cut the plastic to get the lipstick out. Come on. Ah, got it. This is a sort of a pink, not a real red lipstick. I keep having to remind myself this is not a mirror. Not too bad. And by the way, this thing on my lip, if you see it, it's just a scar. Doesn't hurt. Sometimes it itches. Let's see about complete coverage. A foundation is what we used to call these. Now they just call it makeup. Mess-free pump. And that's about all I'm going to do today is the lipstick and the foundation. Once again, this one popped right out. I'm not used to the foundation coming in a skinny tube. It's usually in a little jar. Let's see what this is. Oh, how strange. It's yeah, it's a foundation. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I picked the right color for my skin. It's just it isn't darkening my face. It's just kind of making it more defined. Okay, that's all I'm going to do today. Oh, Etsy Quintia gets the tickling eyelashes all the time and eyebrows. Yeah, I get itchies in my eyebrows. I have to do this. Every hair in his face. Well, fortunately, being female, I don't have much face hair. Many elderly ladies get mustaches, but I haven't got one yet, knock on wood. Okay. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Let's put the skizzers away. Grab a mint. I have coffee breath every morning because I drink a ton of coffee. Actually, I'm only on this morning, and it isn't quite empty yet. Oh well. Mint. Oh, that was another dollar store find, by the way, was Andy's mints for actually $1.50. Very small bag, but for the price, it wasn't bad. Mmm, mint. Cat hair. I have the complication of shedding eyelashes and eyebrows plus cat hair. Mmm, boy. Well, cats. I wanted a dog. There's no way I can have a dog now. I have to feed 6 cats every day. Patches, knock it off. Oh, she's purring. Come here. I'll have to spoil Patches. Come on. Get you one of these. Oh, what a mess here. Patches, gotta be by the dish. This stuff goes in the dish. Yeah. There, here you go, kid. Silly cat. Don't tell Tora I gave Patches her treats. Patches doesn't want it. Oh, hi, Oswald. Welcome in. Mayday, Beltane. I thought Beltane was in June. You know, these Celtic holidays, um, in particular, we call it St. John's Day now in June. They would drive the cattle, they would first light two bonfires, like 6 feet apart. And then they would drive the cattle down between the two bonfires, and all the fleas would jump off of the cattle into the fire because light attracts them, I guess. Anyway, they would get rid of the parasites like fleas on their cattle by doing that. So it wasn't just a crazy, wacko pagan ceremony, it had a purpose. If I remember correctly, all of these four major Celtic holidays had a purpose. Oh, Freeman once, you know, when I was in my 20s, I thought if I could make $800 a month, I could live quite well. I'd be upper middle class. $800 now won't pay your rent for a month. Ah. Oswald says Beltane is the midpoint between the spring and summer equinoxes. Okay. Now I want to know why they pronounce that holiday Samhain when it's spelled Samhain. Why not spell it the way it sounds? Oh, that's right, it's British. The Celts spelled it with Ogham. Those lines, various lines. Oh, yeah, Oswald says because the British misspelled it. Patches, quit hopping on me. It's done. There are no more treats for you. Quit it. Well, if you look on a map of England and you look at the Celtic cities with Celtic names, there's no way the average American could pronounce it the way they pronounce it, because it'll be like a 12-letter word on the sign or on the map, and the name is Pull or something identical short. Well, if just one of my books were made into a movie, I'd be sitting pretty. But I don't see that happening. Bummer. I was going to, I don't think I have it, at least not handy. I was going to show you a book I wrote under my maiden name, L, well, initials L A, and my last name B. It's called, what is it called? Um, it's about a werewolf. Darned if I can remember what I titled my own book. I am getting old. No, it isn't in that stack. It's in a box that I can't easily get to. Um, Bad Moon Rising. Sorry, Creedence Clearwater Revival, I stole your title. Bad Moon Rising. That'd make an awesome movie. Low budget, I'm sure. Nice horror movie about a werewolf. Freeman says it's actually Irish resistance and playing jokes on the British. They and the Welsh deliberately misspell all their words and then demand everyone accept it. Okay. That reminds me, there's this judge they keep calling McAfee. Or McAfee, I'm sorry. They call him McAfee, but it's spelled McAfee. And that's important. Mac means son of, but Mick, MC, means servant of. Let's see. I don't know. I'm kind of anxious to get out and whack more weeds, but it's still a little chilly this morning. It isn't quite 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is kind of chilly. But once I get moving, it won't feel so bad. Well, I've watched a YouTube video about the McAfee antivirus and the Norton. And the thing is, they use up a lot of your computer's resources for no good reason. And this guy recommended just use what comes with Windows. I tried Avast, which is free. Never again. It used to be pretty good, but now it just messes up my computer so nothing works right. I guess they really want you to upgrade and send them money every month. Oh. Let's see, Quendy. A kill doesn't mean kill, but I keep forgetting what it does mean. Church or wood. It comes from the Gaelic word, which means church, or the other Gaelic word, which means wood. For example, Kilbride means Church of Brigid or Brigid. Americans pronounce it Brigid. So it may mean a wooded location, trees, or an area with a church. Interesting. Ah, Oswald Fitzgerald ancestors hailed from Kildare. My ancestors were Gilmores, um, members of the Morrison clan, just like John Wayne. One of the, I think it was Ancestry, one of the DNA sites said that I'm a 12th cousin of, get this, Muhammad Ali, the boxer who originally was Cassius Clay before he became a Muslim and changed his name. My great-grandmother was Clara Amanda Gilmore. And of course, her father was a Gilmore. And of course, we hate the Campbells because they were traitors. Oswald took his comment away. Shame on you. Whatever. And yet I eat Campbell's soup. I guess, the historical enmity has been reduced. But, when just a few years back, maybe 10 years, there was a movement to make Scotland independent from England. Many Scottish people, especially the younger people, had no idea that at one time Scotland was a sovereign nation separate from England. And then that movie came out. Maybe it's more like 20 years ago. Braveheart. It's okay, Oswald. Howard isn't here, huh? Tora, get off my desk. And you stay off, Patches. I gave you guys treats and canned food and kibble and everything. Tora, don't walk all over me. God. Interesting, Oswald. Etsequentia says now Scotland is run by a raging whatever, bleep. But thankfully he resigned. Okay. I have kept up on Scottish politics. There's enough of a mess with American politics. So apparently, we have to send money to Ukraine because of an agreement that was made during the breakup of the Soviet Union. There's an international agreement that we would support Ukraine's independence from Russia. Stop it. Patches quit. Not many people seem to know that. The problem is, we've been breaking the agreement that we made when Gorbachev agreed to dissolve the Soviet Union. We were supposed to keep NATO out of Eastern Europe. Now, I don't know enough to, advise the president or the Congress. But it seems to me that there's hidden motives behind starting all these wars. Tora, don't walk on me. God. Okay, I'm going to shut the door because I want to check. So far, the tomcat has not come in. All the other cats are out, including Sweetie. But Tora and Patches are in here just to pester me. Yeah, Orwell meets PKD meets Bradbury. We, just a few years ago, we had overall peace in the world. Not entirely, but we didn't have any major military operations. Gas was $3 a gallon instead of $7, and we were complaining. It used to be $2. And groceries cost half of what they cost now. There were good jobs for everyone. And now, man, if they didn't plan this, I'm sure they're happy with the way things are turning out. The wealthy and powerful elites, the huge multinational corporations. Yeah, NATO, Freeman says, we had to support Poland and Lithuania. Well, Poland is a sort of an outlier. They were part of the Soviet Union, but not really. And they're a Catholic nation, not a Orthodox. Russia has the Orthodox Church, and there's a conflict between the two churches. Tora, quit doing that. Stay off of me. I'm not sure what you said, Oswald. Oh, I see. Two types of Polish, the perpetually online and the perpetually online-ish. Okay. I have a copy of a master's thesis by a Polish scholar. It's all about Philip K. Dick. I guess I contributed to it. I answered some of his questions. Mm. Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether he was a fan of Stanislav Lem. He was a fan of Philip K. Dick. Or is. I'm sure he's still alive. I'm gonna make the chat scroll up so I can read that. Oh, okay. Freeman needs the price of gas / petrol to be $1.19. Okay. Well, when I was a young college student, it was 25 cents a gallon. And then we had the oil embargo, and it went up to 75 cents. Yes, I don't know much about Poland today, Freeman. When gas went up to 75 cents, I didn't think I could afford it. Yeah, well, I do know historically during World War II, Germany and Russia split Poland between them. Hi, Anthony. Welcome in. I'm kind of winding down, getting close to the 2-hour mark. Good to see you here. The cats have been terribly pestering me this morning. They already got their treats and their canned food and their kibble, and they just keep wanting more and more. And I have weeds to whack. Oh, Anthony just got home from work. Are you in Europe somewhere? Or do you work the graveyard shift, the night shift? Oh, man. I am so tired. And I slept all night. I should be waking up, not falling asleep. But just thinking about all I have to do today. England. Yes, that figures. So it's like, let's see, about 6 in the evening there, almost 6. 20 minutes till. Nine to 5, like Dolly Parton, yes. Oh, I hated 9 to 5. What saved me was a full hour for lunch at the school cafeteria, the college. I would get all kinds of goodies for lunch because I had a whole hour to eat them, and the school cafeteria was very inexpensive. Poland is probably a very nice place now. Well, Dolly Parton did the movie 9 to 5. Uh, I don't know whether Sheena Easton sang it. I've no clue. Yeah. Well, Poland, much of what is Poland today was originally Prussia, not Russia, Prussia with a P R at the beginning. And they were the German uh, group, who started World War I and World War II and unified most of the German-speaking states into one nation, and they were assholes. So after World War II, Poland got a big chunk of what used to be Prussia. Wow. Oswald says he talks to a musician who fled Poland for Lithuania after the lockdowns hit. It was almost as draconian as Canada. Well, you know who was really draconian was Australia. There's a YouTube video of a woman walking outside all by herself, no one else around, and a cop comes along and arrests her. Yeah, we did throw Poland under the bus. They didn't have oil, so England and America weren't interested. Poland has a long history. Poland saved Europe from the Mongol hordes. You know, they would have had all of Europe, but the Polish knights stopped them. I don't remember what year that was, but it was definitely a long time ago. I think the remains of the Roman Empire were still around, so it's probably between 300 and 600 AD. We'd all be speaking Chinese if it weren't for Poland. I suppose I could look that up. Poland has a long history. It isn't giving me the date. Uh, oh, The Mongol army struck Poland 3 times, starting in 1240, during the Mongol invasion of Europe. And only in 1480 did Poland shake off the last vestige of the Mongol control, the Golden Horde. Okay. Oh, Freeman says Poland was just too far away, and FDR was too sick at Potsdam to get a good treaty. Nietzsche thought the Polish were superior to the Germans. Their government was. Anthony says we probably will have to speak Chinese anyway. I don't know if we can. Freeman says no, we'll have to speak Arabic. Well, I don't know. At the moment, English is spoken all over the world. And even native speakers have trouble with our own language. It's so messed up. Well, guess what? I don't think we're going to free Palestine because it looks like we're bringing all the people here to the United States. There's a refugee camp just barely inside Egypt, and our State Department is arranging to bring the refugees here. You see, Gaza has oil. That has been one of the standard lines you hear about Israel for their entire history. They're the one country in the Middle East that does not have oil. Well, Gaza has oil. And U.S. troops are building a pier so they can dock tanker ships and export the oil from Gaza. And at the same time, arranging to bring the refugees here so they can live on welfare in the United States instead of selling oil in Gaza. Sounds fishy to me. You know, when Israel was first formed, that area had been under British protectorate for I don't know how long, a long, long time. It was basically a British colony. And when Israel was formed, they actually gave everyone more rights than they ever had under British rule. And even today, there are Arabs in the Israeli government, even Muslim Arabs. They don't tell you that. And I don't understand why we have to find oil all over the world and refuse to drill our own. There's the best, cleanest oil in the world is Pennsylvania crude. Well, whatever, Freeman. They've always told us, oh, Israel doesn't have oil. So the Sinai Peninsula has oil. Well, maybe it's because technology has improved so we can find oil and extract it that we couldn't in the past. Well, what my parents used to say when I was a little kid in the 1960s was that we wanted to drain the entire world of petroleum products until the United States was the only nation left that had any. And that's why we didn't drill here. In Culver City, where I grew up, well, up to the age of 11, oil seeped out of the ground in the Baldwin Hills. You didn't really have to pump it, it just seeped up all on its own. It wasn't very good quality, it was mostly tar, but I remember watching this donkey engine. That means an engine that's stationary, it doesn't roll around on wheels, um, pumping up oil in the Baldwin Hills. Yeah, Israel is still a socialist country, Freeman, but under British rule, it was worse. If if an Arab attacked a British person, they would kill him, his brothers, his sisters, his children, his parents, and his cousins. That doesn't happen now, except on the large scale in Gaza. Kind of makes you wonder if the Israelis didn't learn something from England. But it wasn't like that at first. Yeah, there was, there always have been actually food shortages in Israel. Anthony says Stalin supported Israel at the beginning but turned against them quickly. Yeah, they weren't socialist enough. Well, actually, the first war, was that the 6 Days War? I don't know. When Israel was first formed and Egypt and Jordan were planning their attack, Jordan asked the people, the Arabs, to move away, to get out of their way so they could invade Israel. And that was the beginning of these Palestinians. There is no Palestine, it doesn't exist. These are all refugee camps. trying to unite by calling themselves Palestinian. Yeah. When I was a teenager, Mom would not buy Jordan almonds, those candied almonds, because they came from Israel, and Israel was a bunch of communists. That's what she said. Hey, go figure. Okay, I have to click something, but coming right back. Yeah, I'm well over 2 hours now. Yeah, inherited refugee status. What's happening to those people is wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. I do know that bombing them isn't going to fix it. Bringing them to the U.S., and I blame primarily America's CIA and England's MI6 for all of these major troubles in the world. And don't forget the African country, Niger. Even though technically they are no longer a French colony, they're still working on kicking out the French from their places of power. And by the way, the N word originally was the lazy Englishman's way of trying to pronounce Niger, the French word for black. Apparently, the English just can't call anything what the inhabitants of that area call it. Like Myanmar became Burma, Niger is now Nigeria, but they call themselves Niger. Even though they hate the French, they use the French word for their country. Yeah. The problem with the refugees is they want all the land. They want all the Jews gone. I don't think that's going to happen. But it might be the strategy you hear so much about in contract negotiations. Ask for the sky and settle for the hill. Ask for the mountain and settle for the valley. Ask for way more than you'll ever get and settle for what you really want. Gosh. No, I got itchies and everything. I really am not happy with all that's going on in the world. But it is not only the ones we hear about on the news. It's just that those are the ones that get clicks. Did someone delete your comment, Freedom? I don't see that. I don't see a deleted comment. Yeah, that's the problem, Anthony. The Arab countries don't want the Palestinians. And Israel certainly doesn't want them. But really, Jordan and Syria ought to take them in. But, well, many of them are ethnic Jordanian or Syrian, but they don't want them. Oh, not too long ago, I had an Uber drive me to a doctor appointment. My insurance paid for it. The driver was from Jordan. And he told me he was Muslim, but his wife was Catholic. And he said many Jordanians are Catholic, like Danny Thomas, the actor who founded the St. Jude Hospitals for Children. So Jordan apparently is about half Muslim, half Catholic. I find that odd in the Middle East, but there it is. Yeah, no matter what. Well, Israel gave Gaza back to the Palestinians, and how'd that work out? In exchange for peace. Someone behind the scenes must be pulling the strings, but I don't know who they are. I still blame the CIA and the MI6. I do get worried when I see that Israelis are raising red cattle, getting ready to reconsecrate the temple. The temple doesn't exist anymore. The Romans destroyed it 2,000 years ago. Oh, yeah, I saw that, Freeman. It's still up there. No one deleted it. I don't know why you can't see it, but it's still there. Yeah, the Saudis are rich. And by the way, it is not Saudi, it's Saudi, ruled by some guy named Ibn Saud. Yeah, the third temple. There's good to believe that it should be more village uh, halfway down the David. It's not Jerusalem. But there's good reason to believe that Solomon's temple was actually downhill a little ways from Jerusalem. So maybe they think they can rebuild a third temple there. I don't know. It's just so messed up. I don't think anybody can make sense of it, not even those who planned it. It's gotten away from any sort of control by anyone. Reminds me of that novel by Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. It's about an elder of the Igbo. I think it's spelled IBO. Anyway, when the Europeans come in, and in particular the Christian missionaries, the culture changes and he isn't willing to change with it. And his good intentions combined with his clinging to the past destroy him. He can't stop the changes. It's probably a Yeats quote. Anyway, it puzzled me at first that they grew yams and that was their staple food. Yams, because I think of sweet potatoes, but in Africa, they're more like potatoes than sweet potatoes. They're a different plant. Oh, yeah, the Saudi prince in Saudi Arabia is spending tons of money to build a gigantic city in the desert. I have to scroll up to chat again so I can read your whole comment. A gigantic city in the desert in the form of a line. $200 billion. Oh, I'm sure he has $200 billion to burn. But how's he going to get people to live there? You know, the biggest problem is water, which reminds me of Tijuana, where people will work all day to earn enough money to buy a bottle of water. It has improved somewhat since the 1970s when that was a huge issue. And many American charities will actually load up a big truck with bottled water and take it down there and give it to people who are living literally in little huts that they made out of material they pulled out of the garbage dump in that brand new city. That's awful. We're creeping up on 2.5 hours. Great Granny, even Great Granny's rocking chair is getting back problems. At least the felines are not pestering me. They fell asleep. They wore themselves out. Where it's at. Oh, let's check the modem. Let's plug it in anyway. Well, heck. I gotta go. All for participating and have a great day.